perfect outs is a defensive thing to do because so often we spend or emphasize our importance on batting and hitting. But we want to concentrate on defense here, and the perfect outs is this. We'll pick a certain number of outs to record in a row, or we go back to 0. We could go 7 outs, 9 outs, 11 outs, 15 outs, or if your team's a very good defensive team, 21 outs. So we call it perfect outs. They have to make, if we're going, let's say we'll do 5 outs right now, we'll have to make 5 outs successfully without making an error. If we make an error, then we'll revert back to 0. Now, if we're going, say we're doing 15 outs, this could take us an hour of practice time, but the kids know there's pressure on them to make the plays, not make the errors, and make it game-like situations. The runners, it's a good drills for situational running. They're running as hard as they can, and we're making this game-like. So we want to make sure we're going to go 5 outs. We'll go quick for the camera, but I recommend high schoolers anywhere from 9 to 21 outs. And put pressure on them to make the plays, because the last thing you want to do is, if you're going to 15 outs after 14 outs in a row, make an error and have to go back to 0 and start over again. We have our runner, we draw a line, and we want to make sure they stay behind that line till they hear the crack of the bat, or if I do a bunt, I'll let them know that we're bunting. We want to make this timing as perfect as it would be as an actual batter hitting the ball, where he's not getting a head start on the defense. We're going to start, we're going to try to make 5 outs in a row. If we make an error, we'll go back to 0. And we'll hit base hits in between, where those would obviously not count as an error, but possibly have base runners on. Ready? Here we go. One out. There was no error on the play, so we're still at 1 out. Runner on first base. 1 out. We have 2 outs. We didn't make the double play, but now we have 2 outs without an error. I'm going to do a sacrifice bunt to the first baseman. 2 outs, but we're going to 5 outs, so basically like no outs in a game. What? Go. One. Where are you at, Josh? Huh? You should have probably taken that. That's all right. Yeah. 3 outs. I'm going to hit a ground ball to second base. Obviously, we wouldn't be saying this in a real practice, but ground ball to second base, moving the runner over. Let's see if they can execute it correctly to go to 4 outs. 4 outs. If we make this next out successfully, we've accomplished 5 outs in a row. I'm going to hit a ground ball to third base, or actually first base, and if it's the runner's choice whether to run or not. Safe. That's okay. Runner was safe, but no error, so we're still at 4 outs. Runner on first base. Shortstop. Now, we've never just done 5 outs. Normally it's 15 or 11, but we just completed 5 outs without making an error. We didn't have to revert back to 0, and now we can go on to the next plan and practice. It's a good motivator for these kids if they don't want to have a 3-hour practice to try to make these out in succession the first or second try possible. But anytime they make an error, we always go back to 0 outs and start over. The relay drill is set up to get relay throws into the catcher via the outfielder to an infielder, and here we're going to make a situation where we're letting all our infielders get relays. So we're going to form a line starting basically out by the fence to about a 320-foot target. Our last infielder that's closest to our outfielder will either throw a ground ball or fly ball for the outfielder. They will have game-like situation of charging a ground ball or getting behind a ball and ready to catch to throw to the first relay guy. This is going to be a fairly short throw just to get a lot of repetition in of drills. That first infielder then will, the infielder that threw the ball to the outfielder will receive the ball, work on his relay to the next infielder who will catch that ball and relay it to the catcher. Once the catcher catches it, they'll catch it and make a tag, and then the catcher then will get back up in his squat position, come up, and then we'll get the play going back to the outfielder again by having the catcher act like somebody's stealing, so he'll stand up like he's throwing a runner out. He'll throw it to that first infield relay. He'll throw it to the next infield relay guy, and when that guy catches the ball, what we do again is just repeat the sequence, either a ground ball on the ground or a fly ball up in the air to the outfielder, and we work it all the way back in. So we're going back and forth with relays, and in a matter of 5 minutes, we're getting a lot of relays with actual throws and moving the ball and accomplishing the goal of a proper relay throw into a catcher or to a base. Circle drill is a drill used for our infielders. The objectives here are to throw with a little pressure on them and also for accuracy and speed. Oftentimes you can hit a ground ball to a third baseman, shortstop, or second baseman, have them make a throw to first, and 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10 times they'll make a perfect throw. But what we're going to do in this drill is incorporate runners, so now the infielders have a moving object going around the field while they're having to make perfect throws. The objective here is that runner will start, and when he gets about 3/4 of the way down to first base, I will hit a ground ball to one of the positions out in the field. They have to throw it to the first baseman accurately. In the meantime, this runner is continually going to go around the bases. Once the first baseman catches the thrown ball by one of the fielders, then he will throw the ball to the catcher. The catcher then throws the ball from home to second base. It has to be a perfect throw, and the throw has to come back to the catcher, and while the runner's still going around the bases. Once the catcher receives the ball back from the second baseman or shortstop throwing down, now he'll receive it and throw to the third baseman. And once the third baseman catches it, he will then throw it to home. In the meantime, while this guy's running around, it should end up being a close play at home plate. The infielders know a runner is continually moving, so they have to be quick and they have to throw with accuracy and velocity to move the ball around. So we're putting them in game-like situations with pressure. Their goal is to get it a ground ball, throw it to first, throw it to home, throw it to home, throw it to second, from home to second, second back to home, home to third, third back to home before that runner runs around and touches home plate. This is the circle drill.
Ground ball to short. One.
Second, come back, go forward. In the meantime, the runner's coming in.
Hurry, Duncan!
There you go.
One.
Get back. There you go. Get back there. Good job, Britton. Okay, runner, go. Get rid of it. Nice. Multiple task drills are to do a bunch of drills in repetitive fashion quickly with all infielders, catcher, and pitchers. What you'll see is we'll probably be doing 2 to 3 specific drills in one phase. We'll show you 3 phases, and again, you can be creative and create your own. Multiple task drills, first phase, what we're going to do is we'll have our pitchers lined up in a certain spot over by the first base side, in between first base and home plate in foul territory. Each pitcher will have a ball. When the first pitcher comes out, he'll sprint out to the mound, and in phase 1 here, what we'll do is he will throw a pitch to the catcher. The catcher then is making, there's an imaginary runner stealing third base. Catcher's going to come up and throw to third like someone's stealing. Third baseman will make the tag and then recover and then throw it back to home, and the catcher will make the tag on a pretend runner coming into home. As soon as the pitcher hits or throws the pitch, I am going to fungo a ball hit to the pitcher, and he's going to turn around and turn a double play, throwing to the shortstop. The shortstop will field it or catch it and then throw to first. And right as that's happening, then I will hit a soft fungo to the second baseman, a slow roller, and he will throw to first. So in this drill, we're working on a double play from the pitcher, a steal to third for the catcher, a slow roller to the second baseman, all in one sequence. We're working on a double play from the pitcher, a steal to third for the catcher, a slow roller to the second baseman, all in one sequence.